All right, gents, the goal of today's video is to help you find at least one fragrance that when you wear it, you're gonna smell amazing. She will never forget you. Gents, scent is primal. It has a direct path to the brain, and the right fragrance can create desire. So, what's the right fragrance? Well, gents, there are tons of options out there. In today's video, I'm gonna narrow it down to less than a dozen. In fact, gents, let's make it simpler. If you just try 2 of the fragrances I'm gonna talk about in today's video, I guarantee you're gonna get compliments. You are gonna turn heads. Now, to be honest, gents, about half the fragrances on this shelf right here are compliment monsters. That being said, there's one in particular that flies under the radar. That fragrance is Paco Rabanne's Phantom Parfum. Now, starting at the top, we've got the notes of cardamom, bergamot, lemon, and rhubarb. In the middle, lavender, patchouli, cedarwood, and geranium. And at the base, vanilla, balsam, and Haitian vetiver. Now, it's important you don't confuse the Parfum with the original. Obviously, the Parfum is coming in a black bottle. And nothing against the original, it's an interesting release, but it was much more polarizing because I don't think the notes mixed as well. With the Parfum, it's deeper, richer, spicier. We've got a nice vanilla mixed in with the lavender with a bit of spice. That being said, with the vetiver, with that wood, it's not overly sweet and it has a nice earthy tone that makes it masculine. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again, don't get hung up on the Phantom bottle. A lot of people think it's tacky. You know, it is what it is. It's actually a decent sprayer, so the juice is solid. And by the way, on that shelf, as I mentioned, there were some other bangers. If, 1 Million Royale or going with the original 1 Million, Jean-Paul Gaultier Scandal, whether it's the EDP or the EDT. My point is, I know a lot of you guys have your personal favorites, so if I don't mention it in today's video, guys, put your favorite fragrance in the comments below. Now, that last set of fragrances is going to be attractive to women because it's sweet. In general, women do like sweeter fragrances, but men in general like fresher, cleaner fragrances. And guess what? That is going to be the next category we're going to talk about. Now, when it comes to fresh and clean fragrances, this is one of the biggest categories for men because it's one of the best sellers. And to fill this next spot, I'm going to go with one of the best selling fragrances since 1994, made by Giorgio Armani. And you guys guess it? Yeah, that's Acqua di Gio. Now, there's a lot of Acqua di Gios here, and you could easily go with the Eau de Parfum, which I think is absolutely beautiful. You could go with Profondo Lights. You could go with Profondo, but I'm going to go with the brand new Parfum. Now, starting at the top of the Parfum, we've got marine notes, bergamot. In the middle, rosemary, clary sage, geranium. At the base, patchouli, and olibanum. Now, if you read the reviews on this one, some people are saying it's a cash grab. It was the same thing as Profumo, which is now discontinued. It is going to be a bit smokier. It is going to be a bit stronger and deeper than the original 1994 Acqua di Gio. And when it comes to getting compliments from the ladies, some of you guys are going to say, well, Antonio, what you said Absolute is the sexiest Acqua di Gio. And I agree, it is. But I do think the Parfum is going to be the easiest one for most guys to wear. And if you spray a little bit more on, get the larger bottle, it does a decent job projecting. Still, I think some of you guys may be wondering, why is this one on the list when there are some better options out there that are more attractive? Well, this one I'm putting on the list not because it's attractive to women, but because I think the guys absolutely love this one and it's going to give them more confidence. Seriously, this is a signature worthy scent. And if you condition yourself every time you get out of the shower, you put this on, you feel great, you feel well groomed, all of a sudden this is going to be your liquid confidence, your go-to fragrance that just makes you feel like $1,000,000. And that, gentlemen, is what the ladies love. A man that feels good, smells good, and is confident. Now, this next fragrance is sometimes mistakenly put in the women's aisle. It's a unisex fragrance. Absolutely beautiful, though, from one of my favorite perfume houses, and that is going to be Kilian's Angel Share. The top note on Angel Share is going to be cognac. In the middle, we've got cinnamon, tonka bean, and oak. At the base, praline, vanilla, and sandalwood. So as you can tell, I've jumped right back over to deeper, richer, heavier, sweet fragrances. In this case, this one is what's known as a gourmand. What's a gourmand? In general, these are sweeter fragrances that have food notes. So we're going to see chocolates, we're going to see cocos, we're going to see vanillas, things that almost smell like something that is edible. And really quick, that boozy note, as a guy that doesn't drink anymore, I have to say it's very realistic. Absolutely love it. That's one of the reasons I love the house of Kilian. And if you know spirits, you know the name Kilian. It's the same family. And I love how realistic they were able to make these alcoholic smells in almost all of their fragrances. Now, really quick, let's talk about when a fragrance is unisex. A lot of times this turns a guy off. Guys, understand fragrances are all unisex. If it's a man's fragrance or a woman's fragrance, that's just marketing. Seriously, a guy can wear whatever he wants. And I will tell you that every man has the ability to find the fragrance that works for his own skin chemistry. A lot of guys don't trust themselves, which is a mistake. Simply try the fragrance on and see if you like it or not. If you like it, then it's a good pick, even if it's a unisex fragrance. Now, gents, if you want to grab this fragrance and you want to get the best deal on the web, down in the description of today's video, I'm linking over to Max Aroma. I've got a discount code for you. I've got an affiliate link, so I will make money if you use that link. But Max Aroma has been kind enough to sponsor this video, so I thank them. And they've got a great selection of fragrances. I've been picking up dozens of fragrances over at Max Aroma, and this has actually been for years. And so I was very happy to get this deal with them and to point out that these guys, what I love is their shipping. And if you're looking for a sample and you don't want to sign up for a subscription, they've got 5 ml samples of some of the most popular fragrances out there. But in any case, if you're looking for any of the fragrances I talked about in today's video, go over to Max Aroma and find the fragrances you are looking for to smell good, to smell amazing, and women will, yeah, you better believe they're going to remember you. Now, what about the fragrance I am wearing today? Well, it's a Bleu fragrance, and I'm going to reveal it here in a second. But really quick, let's talk about what are Bleu fragrances. So Bleu de Chanel is the one that started this. And when they came out with Bleu de Chanel, it changed the industry. It's a masterpiece fragrance, and at the top, we're going to find grapefruit, lemon, mint, and pink pepper. In the middle, ginger, nutmeg, jasmine, and ISO E-Super. At the base, incense, vetiver, cedar, sandalwood, patchouli, labdanum, and white musk. Now, if you look around, you're going to see there's an eau de parfum and there is a parfum. For this video and for most people just getting into fragrances, there isn't that much of a difference. So I would just go with the EDT. You're going to be able to get a better deal on it. But let's get into the reason why, when this fragrance was introduced over a decade ago, it was so groundbreaking. The answer is the complexity of the notes, the versatility of the fragrance, and just how crowd pleasing it is. And it really is that ISO E-Super, which is a synthetic wood note that just gives this just an overall feeling of depth, of presence, and it projects very well. This is a compliment-getting monster. And even though it's a common fragrance, I find that still tons of men have never smelt it, never worn it. And women love this because it's familiar, it's beautiful, and it is probably the most versatile fragrance on this list. But seriously, gents, if you disagree, if you got something to add, if you've got a fragrance that gets the attention from the ladies, let us know in the comments below. That being said, I want to bring up another common Bleu fragrance that's much maligned, and I'm not going to tell you to get the most recent one, even though everyone's touting it. It's a great fragrance, and I'm talking Sauvage if you haven't figured it out. So the Sauvage Elixir, a very nice fragrance, but a bit too polarizing. Get your nose on it before you ever buy this one. This is like a punch to the face. Now, the EDT is one of the best-selling men's fragrances in the world, and I'm not going to recommend it for this video. I think it's great, but there are some other options in this same line. Now, the EDP doesn't get a whole lot of love. A lot of people don't. It's a solid pick, so if you find the EDP on sale, check that out. But I'm going to recommend you pick up the Parfum. The ambroxan is mixed very well. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's deep, it's richer, yet it's not a punch in the face like the Elixir. Now, on the Sauvage Parfum, right at the top, we've got bergamot, mandarin orange, and elemi. In the middle, sandalwood. At the base, albanum, tonka bean, and vanilla. You'll notice that ambroxan is not listed as a note. It's in there, but it's very well blended. And that's what I like about the Parfum. You're going to pay a little bit of a premium compared to the EDT or even the EDP, but the Parfum is the best of those three right there. It's very different than the Elixir, but a beautiful fragrance that, because of that ambroxan, it's going to get you compliments. And because it's so well blended, I don't think it's going to be as headache inducing as the EDT. Now, the fragrance I'm wearing today is a Bleu fragrance that has been out since 2019 and flies under the radar. A lot of people think maybe it's a little bit pricey. It doesn't have great longevity, but if you just love the smell of a Bleu fragrance, you need to check out Tiffany and Love by Tiffany and Company. Now, at the top of Tiffany and Love for him, we're going to see mandarin orange, ginger, cardamom. In the middle, cypress, juniper. And at the base, vetiver, sequoia, and sandalwood. Now, I see this fragrance being put in the same category as Bleu de Chanel, but it smells, for me, distinctively different. They are not the same, although they can be in the same category. I think it's unique. I think it's beautiful. I know a lot of people complain about longevity. Some people feel it's overpriced, but I'm of the school of thought. If you buy a 3.4 ounce bottle of fragrance, that's 1,400 sprays. Even if you spray a fragrance on 4 times a day, that is going to last you an entire year. And that takes me to the point of wearing a fragrance and getting noticed. Even if it doesn't project a lot, put a little bit more on. That way you get the compliments. I know a lot of guys are scared of choking somebody out. If somebody complains, I guess get out of the space, but you want to be picked up, especially if you're wearing a fragrance because you want to get compliments. There's nothing wrong, I think, with putting on a little bit more, unless you are in an enclosed space. Then come on, be careful, be considerate. So any of you guys fan of Jesus and the Mary Chain song, Just Like Honey? If you like honey as a note, Kilian Gold Night or Smoking Hot are amazing, but I've already talked about Kilian. I'll bring up another house though. Jean-Paul Gaultier. I talked about him briefly, but this is their new Elixir. So the vanilla is the most prominent note, and vanilla, again, is going to be a gourmand. That's why the ladies love it. This one is incredibly strong, and that honey note is there, and once you know to smell for it, it's freaking amazing. This is a solid pick, and what I love about this is it is just sweet. It can be a little bit too cloying, meaning that this is a fragrance that some people in hot weather you just don't want to wear. Other people just feel it's too sweet for a man, but if you like these type of fragrances, this one's getting a lot of hype, and for good reason. It's a solid pick. Now, one of the problems with that Jean-Paul Gaultier Elixir is it's not the easiest to find, and you're going to have to pay full retail. But there are tons of fragrances that have been out for years that are solid picks if you're just getting into the game. This one has a special place in my heart. It's, I think, the special edition with the camouflage there. But this is Spicebomb, the original by Victor and Rolf. Now, this fragrance is special to me because the company sent it to me and initially just sat on my shelf. At the time, I wasn't really big into fragrances. I think it was 2016 or something like that. I gave it to my son. He started wearing it. And I was like, damn, he smells good. My wife absolutely loved it. And so when I started doing videos, I grabbed it and I brought it here to the office, although he would occasionally steal it. But it just reminds me of me getting into fragrances. And I have to say, every fragrance in the Spicebomb range is a banger, is going to get you compliments. A lot of people don't like the night vision. It's more got an apple note to it, maybe a little bit more synthetic. But if I had to recommend one, especially for the holidays, check out the new EDP. You can go with the regular infrared, but the EDP I think is a bit smoother and is incredibly beautiful. And what's great about Spicebomb fragrances is they have that spicy note to them that just tingles the nose, and these are the fragrances that turn heads. Now, the top notes here are going to be cinnamon, chili pepper, pink pepper. In the middle, chili pepper and leather. And at the base, we're going to have resins and woody notes. Now, again, to be clear, I love all the Spicebomb fragrances. And if you forced me to choose one, I probably would have gone with the extreme or the regular. But I wanted to make this list a little bit interesting. This is a newer one that's come out, so get your nose on it. These are not safe blind buy fragrances. That being said, get your 5 ml sample over at Max Aroma or walk into a store, Sephora, and just simply smell it. But if you like this fragrance, I can tell you this is one of those fragrances that gets you noticed. It is a bit nuclear, so you don't need to put too much on this. But this will be one that when you walk by, she's going to turn head. She's going to say, who smells great? And that right there is an important point that I want to hit on is when you wear a fragrance, you get noticed. And again, you don't want to overdo this. It's a balancing act. But so many times you walk by people and you're busy, you're in your own thoughts and you're not thinking, but you're breathing. We're always breathing. So if you smell something, if somebody smells amazing, you can't help but look over. And let's face it, most guys don't smell like anything. They're like a football team. They're playing all defense. They shower, they wear deodorant, but they have no offense. So if you just have a little bit of offense and you grab her attention, all of a sudden she's like, oh yeah, I don't know that guy's name, but he always smells good. I like to walk by his cubicle. I like simply to be in his vicinity. Every time he walks by, I'm wondering, he's the good smelling guy. I don't know his name. That's not a bad reputation to have. I think it was Nudie Cohen. He was a Las Vegas tailor and Ukrainian immigrant. He said it's better to be looked over than overlooked. And I love that because you want to get noticed. Because you can always, even if you're like, wow, you put a little bit too much on, you can always, at least you started the conversation, right? All right, gentlemen, so what fragrance did I completely leave off this list? Yes, I know I left off Creed Aventus. Terre de Hermes, this one I love. This one it flies under the radar, gets so many compliments from the ladies. So what video to watch next? Well, gents, I got you covered with this one right here. Boom, check it out. Oh yeah. And yeah, Click right there. Come on, magically. You will go to the next video. Yeah. Okay, come on.
Can it smell a little longer? It's so good.